Hi everybody! Today I'll be doing a video that I've been looking forward to doing for a very long time, as I compare two of the biggest smartphones of the year, Samsung's Galaxy S10 Plus, as we have here, and the Huawei P30 Pro. Now, I don't know if you know, but Huawei actually recently claimed that they're aiming to knock Samsung off the top spot as the biggest smartphone manufacturer in the world by 2020. So this is so much more than your standard phone comparison. Now, the S10 Plus is readily shipping from Clove Technology, starting at £899 including VAT. Now, in comparison, the P30 Pro will begin shipping on the 5th of April and also cost £899 including VAT. So, how did the two really compare when put head to head? Well, I took them out and about to have a real good look at what they can do. Before even getting into what these devices pack, we really do have a stunning pair of phones here. Now, Huawei have made a bit of a trademark out of their reflective finishes, and I was really pleased to see that the P30 Pro has followed suit. Now, Huawei claim to have drawn inspiration from the miraculous sky and have produced four really great finishes: Breathing Crystal, Aurora, Amber Sunrise, and the more understated black as we have here. The front, however, is equally as striking, as a 6.47-inch OLED Full HD display produces bright and vivid colours. This has a pixel resolution of 1080 by 2340 and a 19.5:9 aspect ratio, which coupled with an ultra-compact notch allows for great media viewing. That dewdrop notch isn't actually central though, but rather is slightly to the left side, which is something you just can't unsee once you've seen it. But it allows for a screen-to-body ratio of nearly 89%. Now, the screen-to-body ratio of the S10 Plus is that noticeably bigger, at 93.1%. But this is due in large part to the cutout in the top right corner that houses those dual front-facing cameras, but more on that later. Nevertheless, Samsung are indisputably renowned for their displays, and the 6.4-inch Infinity O dynamic AMOLED panel of the S10 Plus is quite wonderful. With support for HDR10, a 1440x3040 pixel resolution and up to 1200 nits brightness, colours really do pop and blacks really are all that. Those signature curved edges are back, just as they are on the P30 Pro, which actually feels more like the Mate 20 Pro than the P20 in terms of overall shape and curves. In terms of dimensions, there's not a noticeable amount of difference between the two, although the P30 Pro is over 0.5mm wider and over 15 grams heavier. Either way, these really are two of the most premium feeling devices on the market right now and are undoubtedly two of my favourites. Now, interestingly, the Huawei P30 Pro doesn't actually come with an earpiece, but instead it uses acoustic display technology, so the screen itself acts as an earpiece. In this way, the whole screen vibrates to create the sound, which is why the so-called acoustic display offers a much deeper output and less sound leaking outside of your ear. Now, moving on to the camera, where both of these devices will undoubtedly shine, we will be doing a separate video that focuses entirely on the photography capabilities of these devices, so make sure you keep an eye out for that, but we will have a briefer overlook here. Now, since Huawei first joined forces with Leica, the focus of Huawei smartphones has largely been on the performance of their cameras. And now, the Huawei P30 Pro is accentuating a new peak of smartphone photography with a jaw-dropping quad-lens setup. This consists of a 40-megapixel super sensing lens with an f1.6 aperture, a 16-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, an 8-megapixel telephoto lens, and lastly a Huawei time-of-flight sensor. In comparison, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus boasts a triple lens setup that consists of a 12-megapixel lens with Samsung's f1.5 to f2.4 dual aperture tech, a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with an f2.4 aperture, and lastly a 16-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens with an f2.2 aperture and a 123-degree field of view. Now, as you can see from some of the images we have here, both the P30 Pro and the S10 Plus are capable of some outstanding images. The detail in these pictures is really brilliant, and you'll do well to find many devices better, if any. It is hard to separate the two, however I would tend to argue that the images of the P30 Pro are that little bit crisper and probably more natural, whilst the images of the S10 Plus are a little bit more saturated, but this is a look that many like. Now, Samsung's dual aperture tech has won many plaudits and switches between f1.5 to capture more light and dark scenarios, and f2.4 for improved sharpness in good light. Alongside this, bright night mode is activated automatically in darkness and shoots some great low light images. A powerful processor automatically combines multiple frames of the same low light moment into one final shot, and both the front and the back cameras manage to capture an impressive amount of detail. In comparison, the Huawei P30 Pro offers up to ISO 409/600 brightness, making it possible to capture stunning images in extremely dark situations. The 40 megapixel super spectrum sensor has replaced each of the green pixels in the standard RGB sensor with 2 yellow pixels, because yellow sensors can actually absorb twice as much light as their green counterparts. Now, if selfies are more your thing, then the Huawei P30 Pro houses a 32 megapixel front camera with an f2.0 aperture. In comparison, the Samsung S10 Plus has a dual front setup, consisting of a 10 megapixel main lens with an f1.9 aperture and a secondary 8 megapixel depth sensor with an f2.2 aperture. Selfies with both are very impressive, as you may be able to see here, and come with all of the software tech that you might expect, including beauty and portrait mode. The P30 Pro has also included Smile mode that automatically takes an image when it picks up a smile. However, results have been very mixed for me. Now, of course I was going to mention it, that's zoom. The Huawei P30 Pro comes with 5 times optical zoom, 10 times hybrid zoom, and 50 times digital zoom, which are without a doubt the best in the business. I honestly cannot get over the capabilities of this zoom. It's honestly unlike anything I've ever seen before. Now, that 50 times zoom actually uses AI to detect what's in the photo and enhances and sharpens the details that may have been lost. Now, this phone is honestly worth the money for these capabilities alone. I honestly don't think I've ever been as impressed by something in a smartphone in my life, so you definitely need to check that one out. Now, when it comes to performance, there's not really all that much to separate the two. Both come with Android 9 Pie, while Samsung's One UI is probably that little bit more refined than Huawei's EMUI 9.1 and includes a number of genuinely useful extras. The P30 Pro is backed by a 4200 mAh battery that will certainly get you through a day and maybe even 2 without a problem. Now, when you do need to reduce, there is a support for Huawei Supercharge at 40 watts, allowing a 70% charge in only 30 minutes, as well as a 15 watts wireless charge. The device also supports reverse wireless charging so that you can use the P30 Pro to charge supported devices such as earbuds or your friend's dying phone. The Samsung S10 Plus also comes with wireless power share and is backed by an ever so slightly smaller 4100 mAh battery. This comes with support for 15 watt adaptive fast charging as well as 15 watt fast wireless charging to get you up and running in no time. Both devices also come with an IP68 rating for dust and water resistance. Now, the Huawei P30 Pro will be shipping from Clove Technology from April the 5th, with prices beginning at £899 including VAT for the 128GB variant. In comparison, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus is readily available, with a number of different memory options and colour variants, also starting at £899 including VAT. Now, make sure you subscribe to our channel for all of the latest news and reviews and head to our social media pages for more. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.